Hi guys, in this video I'll be covering the working principle behind hifzize and what prompted me to make the deck in the first place. So in case you have not watched the video covering the deck itself, do watch that first. This video will be focused on the program that generates the deck. So if you look at the scene considering the Qur'ān Anki decks, you'll see that one of the best decks here is this one, which is based on the new Madina Mus'haf. Now, this deck is really good, but it has certain limitations. Firstly, is that it has been generated manually by the author. So every time a new Mus'haf version is released, this deck would have to be regenerated. And uh, even if someone were to do it, right? Because there's millions of people. One person could actually take the time and do it for all the rest of the people. But the thing is, the note IDs are not generated deterministically. So it would not be possible to update the deck. Now, someone could take this one and replace the images as well, but still, that's going to take a lot of time. Also, in a similar vein, this deck is only for the Hafs Qira'a and specifically the Wasat Mushaf. Right, this brown one is the Wasat Mushaf. This brown calligraphy. Now, there are like 10 qira'as. The KFGQPC, which is the King Fahd Glorious Quran Printing Complex, I think it prints 5 qira'as. So this is only one qira'ah. Also, also the tagging for the page numbers and the chapter numbers, etc., has been done manually. So it does not have extensive tagging. Even if it were to have it, it would still be manual, and it would be exponentially more amount of work. So these were some of the limitations that prompted me to make this deck. Now, with this deck, let's just get into the code firstly. Mushaf ID is just a names. So okay, firstly, here we are defining all the command line flags. Okay, just to get that out of the way. Mushaf ID is something that we prepend to the page number so that uh, you can have multiple types of mushafs. Okay, so just let's take an example. Let's say I want to generate a note ID. Now, if the note ID is generated randomly, every time I run the program, I'm going to get a new note ID for the same page. So let's say I make a change to the program to change the theme or the layout of the page a little bit. I'm going to have to re-import the whole deck, and I'll not be able to preserve my scheduling. Okay. Now, you could generate the note ID deterministically from the page number. But let us say someone is there who memorizes in multiple qira'as and he has multiple versions of the Mus'haf. So he has a one for Hafs, one for Qalun, one for Duri, one for Shuba, etc. Or let us say someone has multiple Mus'hafs of the same qira'a, like someone has Wasat and he has the Jawami' Mus'haf or the Jayb Mus'haf, for example. So the way to solve this is you prepend this to the page number. Basically, that's the point of this variable. Okay? I hope that was not too confusing. If it was, just let it be. We'll come to it once more. Now, this is the path of the images on the system, right? So this %3D is replaced with the page number, which is padded to 3 digits. So for example, here I have it in images, this Hafs Wasat 604 and all these pages. Now, you notice that some of these pages, most of the pages are full pages, but pages 1 and 2, they are special pages in that they have calligraphy and only a small portion of the page is has the text. Now, uh, to account for this, we have this special pages variable, which will tell our program that if you see page 1 or 2, then render it fully. Otherwise, normally, okay, wait. In the program, we have the previous page, which is shown with this mask. The next page is shown with this other mask. Okay, it's not visible, but you get the point. And if it is the current page, then the page is shown fully, regardless of what page it is. But for the special pages, we want them to be shown in full, even if they are as the previous or the next page. if that makes sense. Okay. Images in collection. So in the collection, we're not going to have this folders organization. So we have to just prepend a name like this to the file name. So these are the basic uh, identifiers and namespacing options. Uh, these options are obvious. I'm not going to cover them. It's just thing is that Anki has a built-in template system where you can define fields and you can use those fields in templates. However, that is very limited because it does not have if and else loop, if and else conditions, does not have loops, does not really support data types. Just you can just take this field and take the string of the field and dump it. It does not really even have any other any other variable types. So for that, because of that, I've decided to use this thing, which are Go templates. So in index.go HTML, we define the front, the we define the front of the page, which only shows the previous page. We define the back, which shows the previous current and the next page. And for page, we just okay. For page, we have certain types of pages. First is normal. It's just gonna show you the page like this, and it's gonna put a normal class. Special puts the special class, and we'll come to that again. Now, this is the opening. So, for example, if the current page number is 1, then the previous page number is going to be 0. But there's no page 0 in the Quran. So, it's just going to show this span. Same for if the current page number is page 604. You don't have any page 605 in the Quran or in this layout of the Quran. Okay. As for the styles, there's this mask that we're using for previous and next. Just this one here. The rest of the stuff is obvious. You can just go through it. Okay. Now, uh, now you could get a question in your mind that, okay, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna compute front and back like this, then why do you even have these extra templates of QFMT and AFMT? Why not just have a hard-coded front and back? So, for the QFMT, it does make sense, but for the AFMT, I wanted to have an option to just add extra notes over there. So for that, I've added both types of templates. And notes is something that you don't want to hard code. You want to generate from the you want the user to be able to edit as they memorize. So if they find something difficult in a specific page, then they basically are able to note it down, right? So if you just go here, import, I'll show you how it looks. So let us say I found a certain thing important here. I can just go edit, go to notes. Okay, the font is not set, but okay, whatever. I can just add something like verse 4 is similar to the other verse, and this is gonna come up here. Now I forgot to like configure the font, but wait, I'll show you with the font as well. Yep. Okay, now, and you can write anything that you want, and it's gonna show up here. Okay. After this, you basically just okay. This tells the golang template of template what how to get the front template. So like it like this is what it's defining. Okay. This stuff, it's basically it's to get the it's to build what's called an index. Okay, the way I've defined index is it just collects all of this metadata in a user friendly manner or in a developer friendly manner. Similarly, this is for the format of the tags. Now I would suggest you not to change this because this in hifzize and also in Mayyiz, the tag format is set, the default tag format is set the same, so that people can easily just sort by those and suspend or just study those specific verses. Okay, we're just loading this one, just some helper function. Don't worry about this one. Also, don't worry about this one. Okay, now build index. This is basically a helper package that I created. It takes all of this stuff. Okay, you can go through this. It's not really any special code. It's just building it uh, in a in a sort of in a, you could say it's a bit in a bit boring of a manner, but it's just something that Mayes was also using, so I just made a separate package of out of it. Okay. um okay, now here we create the model. What's model is basically a note type, so to speak. So you have page, the page number, front, back, and notes. This page number is for sorting. It's also we should just set the page CSS. And yeah, we create the new deck. Special pages, we just generate, we pass the special pages string into an list of ints, and we calculate the total number of pages. This is so that we can detect if the page is the last page. And okay, media files, basically for we have this option of including, wait, uh, yeah. So basically for including the images here, we have this string. The key is the file path of the key is the file path on the system, and the value is the file path inside of the collection. Here we iterate through each page. If the previous page is 0, it will be set it to opening, which is the third page type. If it is of the special pages, we set it to special. And if it is the last page, then we set it to the conclusion. This is also just boring code. Also boring. Okay, now we generate the template data. We execute the template. And yeah, that's basically it. Now here we have to be careful. Okay, now we have the model ID, which is the note type ID, if that makes sense. We put the mushaf ID, which if you remember, I told you that we have to prepend this to the page number. Now just the page number would not do, and even just the mushaf ID and the page number will not do, because we could actually have a change to the page note type itself, so we don't want those to be conflicting. Here we use the generate ID function, which is just a slight modification to the generate ID function, uh, which has this option of generating a deterministic ID. And we add the node, and then we just get the package. We add all the media files into it, and we write to the file. Yeah, that was basically it for this one. It's not that complicated. I do plan to add like mutashabihat co-references. So the Mayyiz mutashabihat will be referenced under each page. That's what something I'm trying to do, and I'm also trying to have add hifzize references to Mayyiz. So whenever you when you go to mutashabih, and you on the back of the page, before all the instances of the mutashabih are shown, will show the page on which this verse appears, so that the visual memory is also strengthened. Now now that we are done with this, I'm gonna show you some of the internals that I've left out here. First thing that I've left out is the template itself. So basically, this thing you can understand by yourself.